Sorry guys, I'm having problems. Hold on a second. There we go. I hope that's better. Um, Computer and the camera doing weird things. Anyway, hi! I hope all is well. Uh, been busy the last couple of days just settling back in after being out of town last week. And thank you for your patience for that, because I kind of need the break a little, figure things out, that type of thing. You know how it goes. Life gets in the way. Sometimes you wish you didn't, but hey, it's there, right? Anyway, today's Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, and today kind of reminds me of something. Years ago, I used to have horses. I used to have Arabians, okay, and I miss having one. I really do. I miss riding. I miss training. I just miss being outdoors and working with animals and everything. Now that my shoulder's better and it's stronger, hey, you know. Anyway, my mom bought a three-quarter Arabian mare. She's three-quarter Arabian, a quarter Arabian, and then her other portion is one-quarter thoroughbred. Her name was Crest, Krest. She was a beautiful gray mare, okay? And she had a very strong personality. She knew what she wanted, okay? She's one of those mares that tries to tell you what to do, not the other way around. But on this day, November 12th, 1965, that's over 60 years ago, Crest was born. And eventually she was trained by a very prominent Arabian horse trainer. She was trained by a man by the name of Woody Manson. Here, and you own Manson Arabians here in the Spanaway Tacoma area. She did not like men, period. She was trained by one, but she did not like them. With me, I think she was still trying to make up her mind about me. I tried to get her to work, and sometimes she didn't do what I wanted her to do, and so I had to go a different route in asking her to, hey, listen, let's try this type thing. Eventually I got her to do it, but she had her quirks, and I really miss her. She was a wonderful horse, and she was very stern and very strict, plus loving to her two sons that she had. And also, she was a very strict pasture mistress. She was the herd mare, herd boss, because there were four other horses that she had to live with, and she kept them in line. Now, if any of her sons got out of sync, she would let them know. Her one very quick, Sham, her firstborn son, he nipped me, and she saw it happen. And you know what she did? She turned around and she nipped him hard on the rump and said, hey, you don't do that at all. You don't bite the mistress. When she's in the pasture and she's in the stall, you have to follow what she says. When she's not there, you don't, you have to follow what I say. But, she was very good, and then she weaned her sons on her own. Okay, now, on to the next subject. Today we're going to be winging it as far as political events and subjects go. it's regarding the government shutdown that's been going on for 30 days, 30 some odd days now. And you hear a lot of this talk when the Senate passed a bill to reopen the government. There was a lot of talk that was caving in and concessions and everything else. Well, I think the Senate Democrats and the Senate Republicans, there's a few MAGA in there, I don't know, they're not total MAGA in there in the Senate side, on the GOP side. There's a few old school conservative and other, okay? What the problem you have is the MAGAs have a tendency to interfere and run roughshod over everybody else. That's not how it's supposed to work. And those claim that Schumer and the others caved and were traitors, that's wrong. You don't, They probably saw something in the bill they may have not liked. But they were trying to get the ACA addendum in there. But you have the MAGAs there saying they're running roughshod over everybody else. Okay? Frankly, the conservatives should tell the MAGA to go take a flying leap. Okay? I don't think there was any caving going on. I think what it is that everybody just wanted the government to be opened back up and so they could get back to work and start doing what they're supposed to do in the legislative branch, right? Okay? So stop blaming Schumer and the other guys, okay? We don't know exactly what was being said on the floor or what was in the bill because we can't read it, right? Unless they post it on the congressional website what the bill was and we could read it, okay? I wish we could, okay? And then we could give our feedback to our senators and the House representatives and say, well, you know, this portion I don't really like very well because, and then give them a strong suggestion, okay? They need to listen to us. And I know they do. I know the Democrats listen to their constituents all the time. They're doing their job, okay? But the problem is with the MAGA idiots that don't listen to their constituents. And people say, well, they don't care what happens to their constituents and everything. Yeah, because they're stupid. They're idiots, okay? And that's why the MAGAs need to be given the boot. And get people in there that love to do public service, okay? Love to represent us, you and me. I gotta remind you guys, we are the government. People say, oh, well, the government. Well, you're talking about the rest of us, right? There's 6 million of us, but only 12% of the population have the honor to serve in Congress. Honor to serve in the House and honor to serve in the Senate. Right? So, I wish in many ways we could read the bill and read what was said. And I would like to push that requirement and say, hey, post the bill on the congressional website, have everybody read it, then have a feedback form and say, well, this part I don't like, or put out a poll what the people want, okay? You could do that too. And sure, there's concessions, but you want to debate and concess and you want to work something out. I think everybody wants the same thing. But the MAGAs they're afraid politically. They're afraid of Trump. Why should they be afraid of Trump? They should be reminded they don't work for him. They work for us. Let me try this again. They should be reminded they don't work for the president. They're supposed to work for their constituents, which is our fellow citizens, okay? Remind them who they work for, okay? Trump needs to be ignored. I really do. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. And you could see that the old saying goes, picture's worth 1,000 words. You saw there in the news conference and everything else. He falls asleep and everything else. He's showing signs of dementia or Alzheimer's or both. And he goes into these little fits. Well, Stephen Miller, either Stephen Miller is denying what Trump is doing or showing or behaving, and they're too afraid to say it. Or he just doesn't care and he's enjoying being the power broker. Stephen Miller needs to be given the boot. He needs to be fired. You advise the president. You don't tell the president what to do. You advise him. You let him make up the mind what needs to be done. But Trump has no experience, government experience, and does not know the rules, does not know the regulations, does not know the laws. Keep in mind, everything's tied in together. Really is. If you really do your research, okay? And, so, again, when this bill passed, only eight people said no to passing. Well, it passed anyway, okay? Some claimed it was caving, some claimed it was concessions. Again, as I said previously, I don't think so. I don't think they caved. They saw what it was about, and hey, we can't keep delaying this any longer. We need to get the government reopened now, and then work on the problems. Okay? They need to all work together. And Johnson's being an idiot. Johnson needs to be given the boot. And I would love to see Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House. I'll bet you he put everything back in place so fast it wouldn't be even funny. Okay? I'll bet you he cracked the whip and tell the GOP either put up or shut up and start doing things properly. Okay? I would. I tell that to their faces. Either put up or shut up. And that we need, and what we need to do, we have a great big long list that needs to be done. We need to get the budget bill on a certain schedule. I suggest every 4 years, okay? Same time as the new president's being elected. Every 4 years. Not kicking the thing down the road every 3 or 4 months. That's a waste of time. We got other issues that we need to work on, okay? We need to work on our projects. We need to work on our social programs. Get those back online. And if the people say, well, what about Project 2025? Screw it. Put Project 2025 in a burn barrel. And it deserves to be in a burn barrel. It needs to be burned. It really does. Because it does not look at how the government's supposed to work. And it was set up for a reason. Okay? Whoever authored that needs to have his head examined. And then go after people like Elon Musk when he brought in the Doge thing. That's stupid. He was violating laws. Okay? And if a push comes to shove an investigation, there should be a full-up investigation on Trump and his finances. And if he's embezzling, which I pretty much guess that's what he's doing, then he should be held accountable for it. And I hear people say, oh, well, that's not going to happen. Well, when you say that, you're condoning what Trump is doing. Okay? You want to be on the right side of the law, not the corrupted side. Okay? And he should be held accountable. And yes, he's starting to have mental and he declining and everything else. And if Vance takes over, Vance has a good idea pretty much how everything works, okay? But he's too scared to say or admit it or to push back and say, no, we can't do it this way. The law says so. He doesn't have a strong enough spine to do that, okay? So everything needs to be hired back. Get professionals back in there that know how everything works. Because they're representing us. All 6 billion of us can't go in there, wish we could, and do the work ourselves. But we need people to represent us to do the work. Okay? Now, the other thing that we need to do is push on is get rid of ICE. Okay? Go after those guys that broke the law. Did you know 3/4 of all those ICE guys are convicted January 6th people? They should be back in prison. And they belong in prison. Along with Noam and along with Bondi. They both broke laws. They're not trained. All Trump wanted was yes people. Well, they need to grow a spine and tell him no. But they're not trained. They haven't gone up through the rank and file to get to the top spot. So I strongly suggest in all departments is go up through the rank and file. Work their way up. They can't jump the gun, okay? They have to work their way up. They have to gain experience. They have to do research. They have to study. Everything else. That's how everything works on this. So, keep pushing back. Okay? I hope the House passes this through. And then go back and they introduce the bill and get the ACA subsidies back in there. Okay? Everybody needs to be on health care. Health care is a right. It's not a privilege. It's a right. Well, it's a right and a privilege, let's put it this way. Because without health care, we wouldn't be alive. The whole world wouldn't be alive. Okay? We're all interconnected together on this. And I hope that within the next week or so, I would like to get my COVID and flu shot. Get that done and then report that to my new doctor and say, hey, I already got vaccinated for it through CVS Pharmacy. Many of us are not perfectly healthy. Many of us were born with known problems and unknown problems. So nobody's perfect. Okay? So anyway, let me check my calendar. Um, where are you, calendar? Here we are. Okay. I will see you on Friday, November 14th. And I hope all is well. Be sure to contact your senators and representatives, and those in red states, keep contacting them. Okay? Tell them, you work for me. This is what's going to happen. And this is what should happen. And this is what will happen. Really emphasize that. Push back on them. And if they hang up on you, go, well, text them a message or post something on their website and say, well, since you hung up on me, guess what? You're going to be out of a job next year. Make them think. Okay? If they get mad, the red state representatives, senators, if they get mad, the Mongols, if they get mad, go, well, that's just too bad. Because when you get them mad, it makes them think. Critical thinking. That's what happens. Okay? So, anyway, I will see you on Friday. Hope all is well. Take care. Keep an eye in the sky. Oh, and this evening we're going to be hit by a geothermal storm from space, and it's going to affect a lot of the communications. Because of the northern lights and everything. Some of it happened last night, more of it's going to happen tonight. It depends on where you are. So it doesn't hurt to look north and see the beautiful lighting that's happening. So anyway, take care, love to all, and I'll see you on Friday. And thank you for watching. Love you all. Bye-bye.